A line of best fit is a straight line. Should I get your notes out? Destiny notes. A straight line drawn through the data. A straight line drawn through the data to summarize the trend. Alright, so what does it mean to summarize something? After this. You like to kind of shorten it to show what's happening. Can you do notes first? This only takes 5 minutes. Do you have your notes and then you guys from yesterday? The whole notebook from yesterday?
Yeah, I think I don't know.
What?
Yeah, but I put my other notebook.
Okay. To start. Alright, so what does it mean to have a trend? What does it mean to like summarize the trend? Yeah, what does it mean? What are we talking about when we talk about data and a trend? Yeah, so when we talk about like trends in real life, we're talking about like what's popular at the time. Okay, what's happening at the time. So when we talk about trend for a graph, we're talking about what's happening with the points. Where is it headed? Okay, so you're going to get a cutout. I would glue it in on the left side, so we have room to write on the right side. You do not need to actually cut it, just glue it in. Alright, so you don't need to actually cut it, you can just glue it in. Alright, so get that glued in. We're running a little low on glue sticks, so share those around. Alright, you're going to want a ruler today, and I'm going to use a colored pencil. I'm going to use green. You can use whatever color pencil you want, but you're going to want a ruler. There should be enough rulers. Everyone can have one at your table. So get that glued in. Give you about 40 more soon. You guys going to glue in your stuff? What? We didn't know, and now you're just chilling. Both aren't even. Perfect. Once you get it glued in, you're going to take out a ruler and maybe a colored pencil. I'm going to use green. It doesn't matter what color you use, though. Once we're getting your stuff glued in. Alright, so for this first one, I want to draw a line through the data points, and I want to show the trend. So generally speaking, is this a positive or a negative correlation? Positive, so it's going up. So I want my line to go up, and the idea is if I erased the data points, the line would give me a good idea of what's happening. So don't draw this one, just watch. Pencils down, don't do this. I'm doing this with my actual pencil. Is that it's going up like the points. If I erase the points, does that show me about where the points are?
No.
No. I want the line, erase the points should be around the line. So I want it to go through the middle, and I want it to be going up. And it should go through about the same amount of points, should be above as below. So I'm going to go with,
Can we do this now?
yep, if you want to, you can. Or if you need to watch it first before you do yours. Okay, so there's my line of best fit. We're just eyeing it up at this point. We're not using actual formula. Okay, you want about the same above as below. Okay, so when I look above mine, how many points are above mine? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many are below? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But these ones are really, really close. So you have about the same above as below. Okay, that's kind of your goal for that middle, is that you have the same number above as you have below. So after you draw your line, maybe count, see how many you have above that line, how many you have below. It should be pretty close to the same. If you have a lot that are above, then you probably put it a little bit too low. All right, so now we can use that line to make some predictions. So if I want an 80% on my test, how long should I study? Or how long should I practice? I want an 80% on my test. How long should I practice? You want to use a ruler because it's a straight line. Rulers and there's no rulers. All right. So first off, I was a bad teacher. When I put this on the piece of paper, I forgot something really important about this graph. What is this graph missing that it needs? Units and the labels. Yeah. Does anyone remember? This is actually the graph from yesterday. Does anyone remember what did we put on the x-axis yesterday? Yep, this was our minutes, so this was our time practiced. And we did it in time. And what was on the y-axis then? Our test grade, and we measured that with percent. Okay, I lied when I said I was only going to use one colored pencil. So if you want to, you can do this. But if you don't, that's okay. So 80%, am I going to look at the x-axis or the y-axis at 80? Where would I find that 80%? What? On the y-axis. I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, I'm at my 80% here. I'm going to follow that 80% across to where it hits my line. Not to where it hits a point. I want to use my line of best fit so that it's averaging with that trend. So I'm going to follow that 80 to my green line, and then I'm going to drop down. And mine's about 79, maybe. It's not quite right at 80. Yours might be different. So look at the line that you drew. Okay? Look at your line and decide about at your line, where did that end up? Mine ended up at about 79, maybe 78. So find that 80%. What did you guys get? 81? 70? 89? 81-ish? Okay, we're all within a relatively the same amount. Okay, if we had a computer generate that line for us, we would probably all get exactly the same, right? Okay, but since we drew that line a best fit, it might be a little off, and that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to write 78 minutes for mine. If yours was different, you write your answer. So use your own line to see about how much was it for that 80%. Okay, mine was 78, but yours might be different. All right, let's do one more prediction here. Okay, if I study for 30 minutes, what will be my test grade? If I study for 30 minutes, what will my test grade be? And again, we're going to use that line of best fit to do that prediction. Alright, for 30 minutes, this time am I going to find my 30 on my x-axis or 30 on my y-axis? Y on the x. Because it's our time and that's our practice time. So 30, I'm going to go up to my green line from that 30. I'm going to say about what percent is that at when I find that. So I'm thinking I'm finding 30 at the bottom. Follow that up to your green line. And then follow that over for your percent and decide what is yours. Because you did a little bit of a different line than mine. 66? Yeah. We haven't even been doing notes for time. We're fine. Alright. Okay, bro. Alright, so for 30 here, we're going to follow that 30 up, find where it hits that line, and follow it over to find that percent. So mine is about 68%. What did you all get? 69%? 70%? Kind of around that like high 60s, low 70s range? Should be. Good. Alright, we're going to just practice drawing some lines now. So on this next one, what's this next graph missing?
Title.
The title. So let's think of what a title might be. What is this comparing? What things? Temperature and sales. So as the temperature increases, what's happening with... As our temperature increases, is our sales going up or going down? Going up. So what's something that might go up as temperature increases? What? As the temperature goes up, what might be going up with sales? What might be selling more of? Water? Fans? Air conditioning? Right? As temperature goes up, we would be thinking, what are we selling more of? So you're going to go ahead and draw your line through. We're going to make it go through the middle of the data. Sure. Thank you. My hands. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, this one's a little goofy because we want to make sure it shows that idea of the line, but we want to even it out. So it's going to be a little less steep than what it looks like, because if we make it really steep, we're going to get a lot of points below that line. Okay, so again, we want about the same amount of points above as we have below. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you want it to go in the direction of the points. Alright, I'm going to have you practice the last one on your own. Draw that last one to the best you can. What's this last one about? Piano practice. What's happening as the more time you practice?
Going down.
What's going down?
The time practicing.
No. The time practicing is increasing. The number of incorrect. So the number of mistakes. The longer you practice your piano piece, the less mistakes you're making. Okay, so go ahead and draw your best, line of best fit there. I'm going to walk around and see if you got it. Okay, so you're going to try and draw your line. Oh, there's not another ruler? Okay, so we want that line going downwards. We want the same above as below. How'd that go? Good? Nice. Alright, now for this last one, what kind of correlation does this last one have? No correlation. If I draw a line and I take away the points, would that line show me where the points are? No, because those points are just kind of everywhere. So in this one, is there a line of best fit? No. So that one, there is no line of best fit.